think the Green Bay Packers are another team that's a huge loser for free agency. I mean, last offseason, they got, Xavier McKinney. He had a big year this year. Really great season. Josh Jacobs was a great addition as well. They hit it out the park in free agency. And this offseason, they signed Aaron Banks and Nate Hobbs. They give Aaron Banks a bag, and he's played 3,000 snaps at left guard when you have Elton Jenkins, a pretty solid, one of the best guards in the NFL, a left guard primarily. So you have two left guards. Aaron Banks, I mean, is he just going to move on to right guard? Are you going to move Elton Jenkins to center? You need a center. So it's just question marks from this Packers team. They needed a receiver one. They needed pass rush help, and they did none of those. DK Metcalf, that was somebody they were in talks to get. Romeo Doubs was potentially going to be put in that deal. Christian Watson, but you still haven't got a number one receiver. And that pass rush is terrible. Did nothing to improve that either. So you're looking at the draft where you're going to have to address that. You look at this NFC North too. It's getting better. Crazy to say that because 3 teams were in the playoffs last year from this division. The Packers went 1-5 in this division. Should have been 0-6 if Cairo Santos makes that field goal. So the margin of error isn't there for the Packers anymore. This wasn't an offseason that they could have just, dicked around, They needed to be more aggressive. They needed to get more help for Jordan Love. And Jordan Love, there was a little bit of regression last year, especially when it came to playing against the top teams in the NFL. They weren't as good. They beat on terrible teams, but when it came to playing, really good football teams, wasn't the same football team, and just got dog walked in the playoffs by the Philadelphia Eagles. And you look at the Bears and the Vikings, both of those teams having an A+ free agency grade, both of those teams hitting it out of the park in free agency. I just don't see how the Packers are a team that just gets in the playoffs next year. I don't see it. With the lack of additions they made, I don't think this is a team that drafts relatively well, especially in the first round. So are they going to get a top receiver in the draft? Are they going to get, a top edge rusher? I'm not as confident in that front office to, hit it out the park with the draft. So we'll see. This Packers team, Jordan Love, I think he's a solid quarterback. I think Matt LaFleur is a good coach, but things are heating up in the NFC North, and I expect that division to be even more competitive with the Bears, having Ben Johnson now as their head coach and a formidable offensive line for Caleb Williams. Some people thought the NFC North was going to be the worst division in football this season. They thought it was going to be as bad as the NFC South.